Thank you for joining us at Love Them Knives Worldwide, world-renowned studios. I'm LTK. Are you laughing yet? Come on. Flanagan? We're just down homing it. But in any case, trying to put on the airs. That's not good. It's not good. We got Liong, the 15. The X, followed by a V. Integral knife. Check it out. I saw it and I'm always rummaging around, kind of looking for new prospects to get after. Look at that wire wheel finish on there. Wire brush type finish. This is the expensive version. This ain't the cheap version. This ain't the lowly, $475 version. This here's the $575 version. This is the exclusive of the exclusives. This is the hand rub satin finish on the blade. And like we said, the wire brush treatment on the handle, and it's integral, and it's got, blue hardware. Not all the hardware is blue. Obviously, the screws that do this little baby doll up here. See that? There's your stop. And it wraps around there like that. And, I put this up on Instagram, and one guy, I never even really thought about this, but one guy said, is that like a kickstop feature? Because he saw me flip it, but he didn't see the flipper tab. And so I go, you know what? That's interesting that you'd ask that. No, it's not a kickstop feature, but it goes flush with this bottom bolster area. So you're right. And there you go. This is interesting. The way that this a detent ball, it's a little bit later to overcome. So, and here's the deal, you don't have a big choil up here at all. You got this kind of go forward area up here where you can get up to this jimping, which is very aggressive. But what's interesting, when you go to fold it, you got to try and help it. Here's where it hits the detent ball. The problem is when you're trying to close it, then, you can just slam it down like that if you want, okay? You can just do this and kick it back to the detent. But if you're trying to look all Rico Suave, then you want to kick it just over that. See, I'm still at that. So you want to make sure you get past it. The problem is you don't want to get too cavalier about that, because when you pop it, it will drop, and it'll drop right on your thumb, and the edge of the blade's right there. So it's like, see you later. So you gotta be kind of careful, because it will drop right on you. Because it's kind of an odd engagement area for that. Most knives are maybe a little bit earlier, and maybe I've got anything. Well, like the Thor 5. The Thor 5. It overcomes really early. The detent is right there. Right there. So, as opposed to here. See? So this one is real easy, because you can have your thumb underneath this flipper tab, and you've already passed the detent ball. So now you can shake it down. You can kind of do that. This one, no, and it doesn't have the flipper tab. You're not gonna engage you here, because it's flush. So it's already past you. It's gone. You don't have anything to put your thumb under other than a sharpened piece of steel. So yeah, you got to watch it a little bit. You could cut yourself. You can kind of feel as it's rolling over that detent and drop. Any case, really cool, integral, big knife. Big knife. I mean big knife. Fancy, where are you? Get out of here. You see what I'm saying? Flanny, take a vacation, buddy. Yeah, big difference, isn't it? The Para 2, 8 1/4 overall. Now let's flip it around. The Para will look bigger on the bottom here in this aspect ratio, but still, it's it's still losing that battle, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Fancy, you're out, and let's get Bertha in here. Give us some numbers. Although I could just read them off to you, but I like doing this. I like double checking. So here, yeah, the bolster's like right there. So it's 4-inch. 100 millimeters at least, maybe a few over actually. And we're at 9 1/4 out with the end of the lanyard hole. Or 9 1/8, 9 1/32, somewhere in there. And 23 centimeters. I mean, that thing's big knife. When you're at 23, 22.5 plus is a good size knife. Even 22. But 22.5 plus, that's a good size knife. Have you noticed this? Have you been looking through here? Hello, where's the logo? Yeah, it's right in there. So you can see all the way through the knife. So what were they calling these, cheese graters? I mean, come on, man. They are way in here recessed. You know, they were saying, oh my God, it'll get pocket lint and stuff. Well, I mean, just go like this. Whew, and you'll blow it out. I don't, I mean, sure, I'm sure any kind of debris in your pocket could possibly get into a knife of any kind. So, yeah. But, no, not that this would grate on your material and create that situation, because no, it's way inside of here. How's it going to do that? This is, of course, this is made by Riot Knives. And Riot makes a tank. They always make a tank. They make a great knife. It's always really, really overbuilt, real sturdy. And this one is no exception. There's your lanyard hole back through here. Take a look at the pocket clip. Okay, titanium, bent to match, isn't it? With that ceramic ball. Check that out. Is that cool? And it's blue. I'm glad they did that, popped that like that. I mean, I did contact Liong through Instagram. Said, I got this knife, and it's your Pimp Daddy top of the line one of the 15. And I just want to know, why is it more expensive? Because when I got it, the person that sold it to me really didn't have a lot of information on what this version was. And I think I just wanted to confirm, because I think I heard somebody say hand rubbed blade, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, I mean, he told me, yeah, it's the wire wheel finish and the rubbed blade, that kind of thing. Because you can get these. Yeah. There's the paperwork on Blade HQ. You can also check White Mountain Knives for these, because you do get a 10% discount. And so when you start getting to the $500-600 range, 10% discount starts meaning something, doesn't it? That's almost dinner. That's almost dinner for two at some places. A dinner for a family of 5 at McDonald's. There you go. So $575, but this, the rest of them are $475, but this one is the one that's Pimp Daddy, hand satin, that kind of thing. Any case, this kind of gives you the basic deal. The 15, of course, 15 years of knife making prowess, blah, 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 doing the designs, everything. And yeah, it's beautifully done. I really like the fit and the finish on this knife. 9.125, 9 1/8 overall, 4-inch blade. There you go. Looks like 4mm blade stock, S35VN drop point hollow grind satin, of course. Handle length is longer than fancy by an eighth. And the handle width is an inch. Supposedly, we'll see. 4.81, so it's under 5 ounces. And what else we got to say for it? Goes my paper clip. 3D reliefs and that's probably why I was just like, yeah. Integral. Fully ambidextrous pocket clip because it does go both ways, and I was gonna mention that until I got sidetracked. I sidetracked myself. Yeah. I mean, Riot makes a really good knife. They're super, super strong. They're built like a tank, and you can feel that every time you get one in your hands. This is pretty aggressive, folks. This is pretty aggressive up here. This is kind of that reverse spine thing. Like, what do you have that on the GSD as well? So, and I thought that was pretty aggressive. But this is, since they got this top swedge done in here, then you feel this even more because this is thinned out. When it's thicker here, no, it's not a big deal at all. But see, you can go up here because you got this flat here. So you can put your finger right there and go forward on it. And the ergos are nice. They're good. Didn't go to a lot of lengths, here to cut individual like grooves or whatever, like some knives might have, this kind of thing, this pistol grip deal. But it's comfortable. Reverse grip, that's good. Everything's lined up on the bench. Big long handle though. And like I said, see the screw that holds this thing in, and see that this is milled all the way through. So you can just unscrew this, just turn the whole pocket clip around and go the other way. Just like that. Now, let's take them up on their chit chat about an inch. This is 0.53, 13.5 millimeters. Maybe they were talking like this. There you go. That's an inch. That's an inch here. Okay. Never mind. And 0.15, 0.16. So that's, 4mm blade stock. So that's some thick blade stock. You think? You like that grind? I kind of do. And you know what? Yeah, you can sharpen that. You can sharpen that. Piercing? Yeah. Nice big, long, round belly for getting to things. Slicing. Self-defense potential? Oh, yeah. Of course, the cutaways, reducing the weight a lot, right? So let's get the scale in here and try and figure that out. Over the detent ball, and there we drop. You can get used to that. That's not a problem. 136 grams, so that's not ridiculous. 4.81 ounces. Really? For a 9 1/8 inch long knife. That's not bad. But obviously you're missing some material around here. And look at how deep those pockets are. Wow. Can you imagine the machining that went down there? I mean, I worked at a machine shop, tool and die, for like 3.5 years when I got out of college, and I was just always amazed at what these guys could do. I mean, back then, that's before you were just like, I don't know. I mean, today, you can do your takeoffs probably so much easier, and the software would be so much easier. I mean, back then it was like Fortran, Cobalt, Basic, whatever they were, and they're doing those things on a CNC machines were like all kinds of cool, new, crazy thing. Now, but still, every little touch of the tool to do every little machining aspect here, it just it blows me away when you really look at it closely. The different types of materials, the titanium, the steel, all the different types of operations, the tools, keeping them sharp, making sure everything's to spec. It's just got to be, wow, it's just got to take some time and effort. No wonder these knives ain't cheap. They ain't giving them away. Well, hell, just think of it. It's just amazing. Look, and they did these little cutaways here. See that? So you can get your thumb in here and get this parted. It's not that tough, though, to disengage that, even though you can see they gave you almost no pass-through, really. Nothing really there. But really, it's not that difficult. This is pretty easy, just like most titanium knives, to disengage. That lock bar is not overly stiff. And of course, this is your hardened steel insert, which, since it's an integral, you got to do it like that. That I can figure. That's the way I've seen the integrals done, at least. You can't get on the inside and do an insert in there. So, but it's a pretty knife. There's no question about it. You're getting some dollars in here, but this is an integral. Trying to think about the other Riot integrals. I mean, I guess the future Tashi-Baruka design. I can't think of any other integrals right off the top of my head. In any case, good looking knife though. Liong, what can I say? I love his GSD. The Warrior. I mean, just so many designs he's done that are really good. But you know what? I think, and maybe just because this is the new kid on the block, but the size, really, I like that. It's slender. The detent on this knife is pretty good. It's not unusual. It's fairly typical for Riot. Wow. Well, it's a little stiffer than most that I've had. Let me see, where can I come up with my torrent? Oh, crap. Well, that's pretty tough too. Okay. But I'm going to say this is a 5.5 all day long. Maybe approaching a 6 on the detent. So it's good, solid detent. You got a lot of blade to get out there. And let me see if I can fail it before I let you go. Oh, wow, that was, I couldn't fail it that way. Nah, well, I did, but just barely. No, that's pretty strong then. That's approaching 6. That's approaching 6 on my detent scale. So that's pretty strong detent, especially for a knife this size. I mean, you gotta kind of have your detent there when you have a bigger, heavier blade, because you've got to hold back until you have enough energy to really deploy that blade. And it's tougher to hold back that big a mass as a light blade. You got to put a pretty strong detent to hold it back. This one, yeah, it takes some. And that flipper tab's nice, isn't it? See how it rolls up here? See how it disappears here? You notice that? And you kind of fall into this little groove when you deploy it. See that? That really functions well. Not only that, the flipper tab disappears here, but I was looking at that going, where's that lockup going, And I was looking, and it is that flat spot. That's where it's engaging. Huh? I wonder if I'm losing a light here. Right here. See this machined area here? that's where that lock bar is engaging. So I was wondering how it was doing that. But that's it. That's where it goes. Interesting. So they had to think about that, because that's not normal for most knives. Wow. And that makes it disappear as well, but it still gives a flat surface to engage. Wow. Oh, well. All right. Hey, I've pondered the motion, but you know, there's a lot to think about on this knife. There's a lot to talk about. And speaking about talking, what do you think, Flanny? What are you doing with my lights, dude? Stop that. God, he's freaky. He's freaky. Sometimes he doesn't talk and he just like things start happening. Not that kind of leprechaun. I saw that scary movie. Hi, big boy. Yes. Yes, you are crazy. You know what? We're going to let them go. They know that if they want one of these knives, hey, you could contact Justin at White Mountain. Plus, if you do and you get one through him, and I think I don't know if he has them in stock, but he can get them. And if he can get them, LTK discounts 10%. So, you know, when you're starting to get into these ranges, that means something. All right. Take care. You know what we do around here. What do? We love them knives. So stay sharp, my friends.